My Goodreads is a mess, and I think we should clean it up. Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. My name is Brie and this is 4 Paws in a Book. I got this idea from Riley over at Riley Marie. She has been doing this like keep it or delete it series where she's just going through her Goodreads and like seeing if she wants to still read those books. I currently have 544 books on my want to read, and that's actually like not as many as I used to have. It's not as many as a lot of people have, but it is a lot of books, and it's a lot of books that I probably don't want to read anymore because I'm going through things and like I'll go through other lists and I'm like, why is that on my want to read? I am in the middle of a 75-day project which is supposed to span to the end of the year, and if you want more information on that, we're doing it with my Patreon. I essentially have like 75 days of things that I want to do. Like some of them are every single day, some of them are like X amount in the 75 days, and some of them are like one-time projects. And one of my one-time projects is that I want to clean up my Goodreads before the end of the year because I don't want to take it into 2026. I want my Goodreads want to read list on January 1st to really reflect the books that I actually want to read. I have been a user of Goodreads for a decade now. I think that's a long time, before I started my channel. And so there's books on here that I probably don't want to read anymore. I have done a clean out, a little bit of one a couple years ago, but I thought we're just going to spend a little bit of time today and we're going to clear out some books. We're going to look at the stuff that I have on my want to read and go through them, talk about them. I don't know. So I'm going to screen record and you and I are going to talk about this together. If there's a book that you think I should read it and I took it off of my want to read, let me know down in the comments. And also if there's one that I left on my want to read and you're like, Brie, you will not like that book, don't try it, also let me know because I shouldn't waste my time, right? Okay, so let's screen record. Let's get this done. Let's get a project done for my 75-day project. All right, so I have Goodreads up. Let's do this. I went ahead and added it as my oldest added, which is 2019, which means I have done this and I probably just like lost steam along the way. But let's just go through it. Okay, the first one is 13 by Steve Kavanaugh. This is a thriller that I don't know anything about. So let's look at it. The serial killer isn't on trial. He's on the jury. It's the murder trial of a century. Joshua Kane has killed to get the best seat in the house. And to be sure, the wrong man goes down for the crime because this time the killer isn't on trial. He's on the jury. This actually sounds really interesting. And I don't know, like I probably saw that synopsis. Somebody talked about it on a BookTube video and I was like, yes, I automatically want to read this, and then I never did. It has a 4.20 with 105,000 ratings. And also the cover is really ominous. So we're gonna keep that. Okay, the 5th season it's depressing that it's still on here. I need to read this series. I'm gonna keep it on here. I own the whole trilogy. The Simple Wild I am going to keep. That is a like really emotional romance. I do own it, I believe, question mark. Yes, I do own it. Okay, Odessa is a graphic novel that I had, and I ended up unhauling it either earlier this year or last year, so we are going to take that one off. Okay, Plain Bad Heroines, I still own. I have to read this book. I have to read this book sometime soon. It's like a sapphic horror. I should love this book. Everything about this book, I should love. But I don't know. I don't know why I haven't read it. Like I have a physical arc of this book. I own the audiobook of it. There's no reason why I shouldn't like this. Okay, Every Last Fear by Alex Finley. I feel like I heard some things about this author maybe that like made me not want to read it. They found the bodies on a Tuesday. So begins this twisty, breathtaking novel that traces the fate of the Pine family, a thriller that will both leave you on the edge of your seat and move you to tears. Multiple points of view, alternating points between past and present. Not only a page-turning thriller, it's also a poignant story about a family managing heartbreak and tragedy, living through a fame they never wanted. I don't think I want to read that anymore. I just don't. I don't own it, so it's not that. Okay, next up is Circus of Wonders. I don't know if this is fantasy or not. I obviously went through a like circus era after the Night Circus and decided I wanted to read every single circus book there was. No, this is historical. I think there's like some fantasy in it, but it is historical fantasy. In 1866 in a coastal village in southern England. So yeah, Victorian London. Astonishing story about power and ownership, fame, and the threat of invisibility. No, I don't really want to read that one anymore. Okay, To Sleep in a Sea of Stars I actually DNF'd, so I don't even know why it's on here. I actually need to move this to did not finish, so that my so I'm not taking it off, but I am doing did not finish because I didn't finish it in 2025, and so I want to make sure that that is reflected at the end of the year. The Geek Who Saved Christmas. This is a male romance, and it's a Christmas romance. I think I'm gonna keep this one because who knows? I'm thinking about doing some Christmas romances this year. So, Love and Other Disasters, I unhauled a while ago. It's not going to be on here anymore. The Calculating Stars is historical fiction. It's a very feminist story, but I just don't, like, I think that the idea of the book is fantastic. I think that, like, it's based on a true story. There's a movie that came out about it. But, like, if we're being 100% honest, I am not going to read that book. I'm not going to gravitate towards it. Girl, Serpent, Thorn, I am going to keep for a little while. I actually own a physical copy of this that I got from like Book Outlet a long time ago or something. I don't know. It was really cheap. I think it's supposed to be a sapphic fantasy, but it's YA. I don't know that I'll ever pick it up, so we'll see, but I'm going to keep it on there for now because I do have it. The God of Lost Words, I DNF'd the second book in that series, so I am going to take that one off. Okay, Continuum by Danielle Allen. Second Chance novella, friends to lovers, contemporary. Okay, I was actually thinking it was like a sci-fi romance based on the cover. Missed opportunities, chance encounters, instant connections. Everything happens for a reason. Life is made of little interconnected moments, and one decision can completely change the trajectory of your life. Second Chance erotic romance. It's a novella. I don't think I want to read this one anymore. I don't have any, like, I don't know why I would, like, I don't know. I think I had put it as I want to read for a video that I was going to do. I never did. Hey, look, it's another circus book. Is this one fantasy? Oh, it's at least fantasy. Oh, steampunk. Okay, that makes me think a little. Maybe, do I keep this one? 17-year-old Gracie Hart gets caught stealing, it's YA though, stealing a ride on a circus train. She expects to be arrested. Instead, she's offered a job as the new assistant to the circus magician. He's charismatic and genteel, but his aim isn't perfect, hence the position opening. The work is better than jail. Once Gracie starts performing with Jack, she begins finding threatening notes hidden in her costume. She begins to think she's haunted by the ghost of the last assistant. She can't shake the feeling that the things are even stranger than they appear. This doesn't sound terrible. It has a very low rating, but it only has 66 ratings. But it's only at 3.14. Let's see if anybody that I know has read it. Nobody that I am friends with has read it. Like, everyone's just giving it kind of like 3 stars. So maybe we don't. No. Okay. Out There Into the Queer New Yonder is like short stories, but they're sci-fi, and they are, they're queer, obviously queer sci-fi short stories. I think I have an arc of this, honestly, on NetGalley. I have had it on our fantasy bingo boards every single year, because they're like, you know, there's always that short story spot, but I never actually read it. Wretched, I do want to read, obviously. It's sad that I've had that on my TBR for so long. What Time Is Love by Holly Williams. What is this? Historical fiction. Chick lit. Oh, great. I was a different person back then. Let's be honest. What if you met the right person at the wrong time? Al looked up, shook his pinch off his face, and met her eyes, which looked somehow very dark and very bright at the same time. Their gazes locked like two halves of a magnet meeting. Time stopped again, and this time it stopped for Violet as well. What is this? That synopsis tells me nothing. It also has a 3.14 with 697 ratings. So I'm gonna take that one off of I don't even know what that is or why I would have had it on there. Babel, I want to read. It's been on my TBR for so long, and I'm going to read it. Promise, one day. Devon and Chris Plan a Wedding is a queer romance. I've heard good things about that one, so I'm going to keep that. Can't Resist Her, I actually also DNF'd this year. And it's not on my physical TBR anymore. A Deal with the Devil by Elizabeth O'Rourke. I remember Chandler talking about this one. And the man looks like Tom Ellis, who plays Lucifer. And I think, like, I don't think it actually is Lucifer, but it just made me think of it, and that's why I wanted to read it. He might be the devil, but he may not be the devil, but working under him for 6 weeks is my idea of hell. Hayes Flynn is an arrogant jerk, known best for his Scotch habit and the way he spreads his British charm all over Hollywood. Okay, so, like, it is Lucifer. Got it. Okay. The last person I want to work for, except he has a face I can't look away from, and the longer we're together, the harder he is to hate. Okay, I want to read this. We're keeping this. All roads lead here. I do want to read Mariana Zapata at some point in my life. The Leah Bardugo books I want to read. I still own them. It's fine. The other two, N.K. Jemisin. The City of Stairs, I do not want to read anymore. I unhauled it. I think I could potentially like it, but it's just not one that I was gravitating towards. Why is there a Jane Austen on here? Like, first off, I've read Sense and Sensibility. So why is it on my want to read? Who the hell knows? Okay. The 57 Bus and The Outsiders are, I was going to do a project and those two were in the same video, but I'm not going to do that video now, and I don't need to read it. I'm going to hit batch edit for a second because I saw a couple down here that I am going to be deleting several of because they're all a bunch of lit fic books that I am not interested in anymore and do not have anymore. Will Smith, I don't think I'm going to. That's one that I might keep on audio. I don't own it physically anymore, but it might be an interesting audiobook. The Verifiers, I am not interested in, and I unhauled that one a while ago. I'm going to go back into batch editing because there were some that I was that I unhauled a lot of right around the same time. They're like either lit fic or YA, and I don't want to guess. I think I tried to read several years ago and then never got back to it. And then I didn't DNF, but I unhauled Timekeeper and Chainbreaker, and I DNF'd Scavenge the Stars. The Other Man was another lit fic one. Artemis is just bad. It was just bad. I started that one years ago. And so that's the thing, I never cleaned up these pages after I would DNF something. And so yeah. Or just unhauled things. Paris Delacourt is about to crumble. I didn't like the first one, I think, if I remember correctly. Some more YA thriller style books. Vox I just heard terrible things about. True Biz was another lit fic. I decided I'm not going to continue on with the Shades of Magic series. It's just not one that I don't know. Should I keep it? No, I'm not going to. The Black Coast I unhauled. Age of Ash I unhauled. Malice I DNF'd years ago. The Broken Girls I unhauled. Do I have The Last Housewife still? No, I think I unhauled that one. Things We Do in the Dark I unhauled. Small Angels I unhauled. I do want to read the Sabine Valley series by Katie Robert. I don't know that it ever got finished, but maybe. I don't know. Could be wrong. It's one of her older series. Rogue Nights by Talia Hibbert. What is this? I thought I've read everything from Talia. Oh, it's an anthology with a bunch of people. Okay, so this is just her short story of it. That makes sense. Did I know that this existed? I mean, obviously at one point I did. My camera died. And I wasn't charging anything. Unfortunately, my charger was not plugged in. So I charged one for about 10 minutes. We're going to see how much juice this has. And here we go. All right. We have some more that I want to get rid of. So we have When We Were Bright and Beautiful is a lit fic. Wasn't ever something I was super interested in, but it was a book of the month that I think was just sent to me. It was one that I didn't actually pick, but they gave me the wrong box, something like that. So I was okay, whatever. Where were we? I decided to DNF A Chorus of Dragons, so we're gonna get rid of those. I hate that it takes so long to for it to delete, and then it will scroll back to the top. It's just wonderful. Okay, and then I also unhauled The Shadow of the Gods, so I don't need that one on there. I also unhauled The Bone Shard Daughter because I heard the first one was good, but then the series kind of went downhill, and so I wasn't really interested in starting a series that doesn't end on a good note. I want to read Twisted. I unhauled What You're Gonna Do. I don't even know what Legacy of Ash is. So, was it a Smithbo book. We read The Storm, also no idea what that is. Devin Madsen. That sounds familiar, but I don't know. Was it a Smithbo book maybe? Question mark. Midst of a burgeoning war, a warrior assassin and a princess chase their own ambitions. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna read that one. So sorry if it's amazing. I do want to read I'm Glad My Mom Died. I do still want to read January 15th. I have an arc of it. It got sent to me and I was just like, oh, that sounds interesting. And it's pretty short. It's kind of like a dystopian. Confessions I do want to read. Nana I do want to read. I did unhaul The Ninth Reign. The Final Strife I DNF'd because, or I didn't DNF, I unhauled it because I didn't like her other one, Feybound. And then Cassidy read The Final Strife and she also didn't like Feybound, but loved The Final Strife. And so now I'm like, wait, do I want to read this? So I'm going to keep it on there for now. I don't own it. I do not want to read Anastasia anymore because we're not reading Sophie Lark. I could have sworn I read A Very Krampus Holiday by Katie Robert. Could have sworn I read it. I'll have to go back and look and see if maybe I have a different idea, like a different edition. Sweet Hand, I do want to read that still. The Book Eaters I want to read. Echoes of the Imperium is by Nicholas and Olivia Atwater. I do want to read that one. Here's another one of The Chorus of Dragons. We're up to 2023. We're doing pretty good. All right, I unhauled all of the Django Wexler YA books because I just wasn't getting to them. So I'm going to take these off of the list. Okay, Her Soul to Take by Harley LaRue I do want to read. Frostbite I do want to read. I don't know where to find this one, but it's like the only Alexandra Bellifer book that I have not read yet. Dragonfall I want to read. A Strange and Stubborn Endurance I want to read. Starter Villain I still want to read. Rosé with My Fake Fiance. What is this? I'm alone and miserable in my favorite city in the world until a flirty and much younger man pretends to be my fiance. Thought that by 42 I'd be happily married. Blah, 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 blah. Nah, I don't really want to read that anymore. Revenant Prince is the sequel to Tethered Spirits, which I actually really liked. The Swordsman's Lament. When a prince is murdered, a legendary swordsman stands accused. The king wants blood and loyalty counts for nothing. First off, this is a novella, so we might keep this just for, you know, readathon's sake. He thought he was beyond intrigues and machinations, but when grief-stricken king demands vengeance, Belisako discovers he is expendable. His options are clear: find the real killer or satisfy royal bloodlust. That actually sounds kind of interesting. We're going to keep that for now. Bewitched by Laura Thalassa. I haven't loved her writing before in the other ones, but I've heard good things about this one. Filthy Desires. What is this? Professors of Westview University? What is this? School is my priority. All I do is eat, sleep, and study. My best friend says I need to loosen up and live a little, so I did. I had one night with a passionate playboy, Lucas Blessington. He's tall, rich, and handsome and can get any girl he wants. I'm just another woman that he can add to his long list of one-night stands. When he walks into my class and announces that he is the guest professor for the rest of the semester, I want to hide. Little do I know, he did his research on me and managed a way back to his alma mater. Oh, I don't know what's riskier, having sex with my professor or having sex with a billionaire playboy. Also, it's only 160 pages, so that sounds like a fun time. We're gonna keep that. That Summer Feeling I do still own. It's like one of those ones like I only want to read it in the summer, and then when the summer comes along, I am not in the mood for it. His Gymnast. Ooh. These are always like real finicky because sometimes they are bordering on non-consent. In a way of like it being a minor, but you never know. You never know. Arya's dream was to be a professional gymnast, and if it hadn't been for a freak accident a couple of years ago, she would have been. Now she teaches little girls at a local dance studio, working 2 jobs to help her parents pay the medical debt from her accident. Life at home is horrible. Her stepfather does everything he can to remind her of the mistake she is. Then she meets him. Knox Hale isn't a hero, he's the monster from your nightmares. When a beautiful young woman comes to him needing help, he finds it hard to say no to her. That is until she offers herself as payment, and suddenly the idea of keeping the shy, quiet, sexy woman might be worth it. I am intrigued. We're gonna keep this one. See, I don't even know like what I was doing back then. Oh, and then this is like another one in the same series, but it's his dancer. All right. Wendy Darling, I do still want to read this one. A Ship of Bones and Teeth, I want to read. Curves for Days, I want to read. Pines, I want to read. North Queen, I actually don't want to read anymore. I think it's going to be like a little bit too slow, too historical. I've just heard some things that like were not, it just wasn't exactly what I was thinking it was going to be. So, same thing with Out on a Limb. I know everyone loves her books. I don't think that they're for me. Especially, wait, is that the one that has the pregnancy? I don't know. I can't remember now that they have different covers. Anyways, Hair of the Ninth. I don't know if I want to finish this series because everyone's talking about it, but I just am not, like, I don't know. I have like, you know, friends in real life that actually have read it and loved it, but I never gravitate towards it, so I don't think I want to. I don't think I want to read this one anymore. Sea of Tranquility is like, oh, I don't know, like part of me wants to read it, but then also part of me thinks that like it will be too slow and I actually won't enjoy it. It's too lit-ficky. The First Sister, I do want to read that one still. Chaos Rising by Timothy Zahn. I think that this is on here because Derek wants me to read this one. Discover Thrawn's origins with the Chiss Ascendancy, first book of an epic new Star Wars. Do I think I will actually read this one though? Not really. Like there are some from the Star Wars universe that I do want to read. In fact, there's a new Ashley Poston book that just got announced that I do want to read because it's a romance. And then Delilah S. Dawson has one that I want to read. But it's like I want to be picky and choose specific ones, not all of them. If that makes sense. Little Thieves, I do not want to read anymore. When She Thaws by Craig Lilly. What is this? Sadie Powell is going on an adventure. After her beloved mother has a health scare, Sadie decides it's finally time to see the world. She crosses the Atlantic to work as an au pair for a year. Austria's supposed to be nice. Chocolate beer, scenic mountain ranges. She'll figure out teaching and living with an Austrian family along the way. Igna Wepper trusts only herself ever since her husband of 20 years left her for an Instagram model. Igna's opted to homeschool her 3 children. Blah, blah, blah. I don't think I want to read this one. Sounds messy. Sounds like it's, you know, might be a fun time, but just not something that I will gravitate towards. Okay, don't judge my nonfiction ones that are on here, but The Great Beanie Baby Bubble sounds interesting only because I was like part of that millennial ridiculousness, mass delusion and the dark side of cute, so I'm kind of interested in that one. The Black God's Drums. Interesting. I don't know what this is. P. Jelly Clark, which I have read from before. An alternate New Orleans of Orisha, airships, and adventure. Debut novella. Alternate New Orleans caught up in the tangle of the American Civil War. Oh, this sounds interesting. I'm gonna keep this one. The Scourge Between Stars I do want to read. The Mask of Mirrors I want to read. Blood and Fury I do not want to read anymore. The Chaos and Flame I think was the first one. It was okay, but it wasn't like fantastic. 2 rival teachers must work together to save their after-school clubs. The solution to the fiery tension between them. A no strings attached one-night stand. Meh. That's just a normal contemporary romance. I don't think I really want to... Like, here's the thing. Contemporary romance has to have something special to it after this, like, at this point. And that doesn't sound like it does. The Midnight Kingdom, I unhauled. He Who Drowned the World, I don't think I'm interested in. I liked the first one, but I think I'd have to reread it in order to continue on, and that's not something I super want to do anymore. Okay, that didn't last long, but, you know, we'll try this battery now. This one says it's fully charged. We'll see what happens. The Summer of Broken Rules, I do not want to read anymore. Kingdom of Flesh and Fire, I still have. The Archer at Dawn, I unhauled. Here's another Laura Thalassa one that I'm still kind of interested. A couple of Laura Thalassa ones. I'm like, I don't know. Like, I don't want to take them off of my TBR, but I don't know that I really want to read them necessarily. A Song of Sin and Salvation, I unhauled. Here's the thing. I think that the book could be okay. I think it could be good. The concept of it sounds really interesting, but the book is like 700 pages long and doesn't have an audiobook, so I just don't think that I will read it right now. The Dating Playbook, I do still need to read. The Warden, I unhauled. The London Seance Society, I tried to read last year and like DNF'd very quickly. Colty, I still want to read. Hairpin Bridge, I don't know about this one. I still own it physically. It's the one that like nobody likes from Taylor Adams, and so I'm worried about it, but What Lies in the Woods I still want to read. She started it. What is this? I think I might have tried to read this one a while ago. For fans of Lucy Foley and Leon Moriarty, we're not getting off to a good start. Hot, twisty summer debut thriller. Group of young women who are the Caribbean bachelorette party takes a sinister turn. Lord of the Flies meets And Then There Were None. With Instagram and too much Prosecco. This sounds like rich people problems, and I don't want to read that. Okay, then we have a couple of fantasy books that I have unhauled. So The Thousand Names, Red Sister, and The Starless Crown. I'm going to take all of those off. Redemptor, I DNF'd Raybear and unhauled them both. So there's that. I also unhauled Upon a Burning Throne. This one was also like such a huge fantasy book. I DNF'd The Book That Wouldn't Burn. I'm so sorry. I feel like the idea of it was interesting, but I just couldn't get into it. Could it have been wrong time, wrong book? Maybe. Inkblood Sister Scribe, I also unhauled. Immortal Longings, I also unhauled. Listen, we are getting through this. Are we still in 2023? Yes, but that's fine. I feel like once we get into the newer ones, we are going to be more interested, like more invested in the books, right? Shake Things Up, I do want to read still. White Horse, I don't want to read anymore. These Maverick Billionaire books I bought at like a library sale, and then I didn't end up like actually wanting to read them, so they all went away. I have to keep in mind that there are some books that like I still want to read, even though like I might have unhauled the physical book, because like 11/22/63, I want to read that book. I didn't want to read it physically, so I didn't keep the physical book of it because I'm going to listen to it on audio or I'm going to read it on my Kindle. I'm not going to pick up a 1,000-page book or whatever, but I still want to read it. So we're going to keep that one. I just have to like kind of get out of that mindset of like, okay, it's not that this is, you know, just because I don't own it, I still might want to read it one day. So I'm keeping it there. I unhauled Warrior Girl Unearthed. I don't think I want to read that one. Powerless meets Holly Black in a New Fae historical romantasy. Well, you had me until you said historical. Okay. Preset, I DNF'd Reset, which was like book 1, and then this is the prequel novel. So I don't want to read that. It was terrible. It was so bad. This what I was going to do. If you see Enchanted to Meet You and then the playlist, I was going to do a Taylor Swift thing back in 2023 during the Eras 2. I was going to do some sort of like vlog for it. And they're not ones that like I really like. It was back when I was like making content or was picking up books for content, right? So I was like making the content and then finding the books that were supposed to come up together. So I was picking the vlog topic or the concept of the video and then finding books for the vlog. Whereas now I pick the books that I want to read and I make a vlog around it, if that makes more sense. Because I feel like I want to read the books more, right? Plus it's like getting my physical TBR down, which is kind of the whole point. Okay. A Twist of Faith doesn't exist. Tiago, I'd like to read it. I don't think it exists. I don't know when it's supposed to come out. It's fine. Book 3, coming 2023. Well, it's 2025 now. I'm just saying. Actually, I have no idea. There might be something going on in his life. It's fine. But I do want to read it once it comes out. One for My Enemy, I don't want to read anymore. I think Olivia Blake is just not for me. And it's fine. Business or Pleasure, I don't want to read anymore. Perfectly Nice Neighbors, not really interested in that anymore. Thrillers are just such a hit or miss thing that it's like, I might really love it and I might like fall in love with, like there might be a thriller that might end up on my best book of the year, who knows, but there are some, the majority of them are just fine. I don't know. On the plus side by Jenny Howe. What Not to Wear and Queer Eye meet all the feels in the sparkling romantic comedy. New guest on a popular plus size makeover show has her style and her love life transformed. I just don't know if this is something that I'm quite interested in anymore. Like it could be good, but I don't know. Contemporary romance is super hit or miss for me now. From Look Up With Love, I do want to read. The Concept of Confidence of Wildflowers, I don't want to read anymore. The Sword of Salt and Smoke by N.C. Kousis, I do want to read. This is, I think, related to Oh, what is his book's name? Beyond Mercy and Wrath? Something like that. Between Mercy and Wrath? I don't remember. Murder Your Employer, I do still want to read. Throne of the Fallen, I don't own anymore, but I do think I still want to read it. Little Slice of Hell, I think could be fun. Spin of Fate, I don't think I want to read anymore. I know a lot of people really love this one, but I'm just not reading YA fantasy right now. Only If You're Lucky by Stacey Willingham, I do want to read. Everyone Is Watching, I do want to read. Craven Manor, I want to read. It's like one of the few that I have left of Darcy's books. Fall of Ruin and Wrath, I want to read. Empire of Sand, I still want to read. The First Bright Thing, okay, I still own this one, so I'm not going to get rid of it. But I do think that it's like more historical fiction and not fantasy. But I thought it was fantasy. And it's, you know, another one of those circus ones. But it's World War I, but it's also gay. So that's what it has going for it. So we're going to keep it for now. An Air Comes to Rise, I don't want to read anymore. The Tainted Cup, I don't think I want to read this one. I'm so sorry. I know there's some people that watch my videos that love this one, and I'm so sorry. I also do not want to read The Familiar. Murder Road, I think I still want to read. A Monsoon Rising, I still want to read. Your Blood, My Bones, I think I still want to read. I know it's YA, but it's also Peter Pan, and so like that kind of makes me curious. Fear the Flames, I still want to read. Hunt the Stars, what is this? Ooh, it was a Goodreads Choice Award for science fiction. So it's like a sci-fi romance? Do anything to keep her tiny, close-knit bounty hunting crew together, even if it means accepting a job from Torrin Fletcher, a ruthless former general and her sworn enemy. Ooh, okay. With so much money on the line, Torrin and his crew insist on joining the hunt. They uncover a deeper plot that threatens the delicate peace between humans and Valofs. This sounds interesting. Okay, we're gonna keep this one for now. Leech, I am not interested in reading in. I only had this one on for a project that I didn't end up doing it for, so there's that. The Sword in the Street by C.M. Kaplan, I do still want to read. Song of the Forever Rains, I still want to read. When Women Were Dragons, I don't know if I want to read this one anymore. I don't think I do. Ooh, we're down to 425. Look at us go. The Maleficent 7, I don't want to read anymore. Okay, the Chisad Air, I do want to read. Not Other Than the Love Song, I don't want to read. I don't necessarily really want to read Julie Soto books anymore after the whole Rose and Chains thing. Ready or Not, I don't want to read. It focuses on a pregnancy, and like while I knew that going into it, I thought I could do it, and I didn't actually want to do it. So there's that. The Kiss Countdown, I still want to read. Shape a Dragon's Breath, I don't want to read. I've heard some very mixed things about it. The Imposition of Unnecessary Obstacles, I do want to read. Decay of God, I don't know about this one. It is such a pretty book, and I have the Illumicrate edition of it, and it sounds really interesting, but I just don't know that I'll ever get to it. Help me come. Oh, it's a romantasy? Hold on. Wait a minute. It's queer? How did I not know this? I thought it was more like a political fantasy. First book in an epic new Imperial Russia dark-inspired fantasy duology of gods, politics, and deadly magical powers. As a child, Galena's village was decimated in a battle between the Illyria ruling class possessed by gods imprisoned by human bodies. A stranger offers her shelter. Justice against the Empress who slaughtered her family. Where is it queer? 20 years later, the woman who invoked Galena's god is dead. She's on the run with her foster sister. Both women are fugitives, struggling to adapt to the deities within their bodies, and forced to finally attempt the mission they were groomed: infiltrate the palace and overthrow the cruel empress to end the brutal reign. Eagerly awaiting the next season of Shadow and Bone, well, that's awkward, or hoping to find similar reads with a more adult audience and more queer representation, These Monstrous Gods is the perfect new dark fantasy to fall in love with. Okay, that's very interesting. We're gonna keep this. However, I want to see if the sequel came out. I don't think it did. I don't think it became a duology. Okay, well, we're gonna keep it for now, although I'm worried about the fact that it didn't actually continue. The Next Best Fling, I do still want to read. It's like plus size romance, but it sounds really cute. Obviously I still want to read the Beast of the Briar books. Unbuttoning the CEO is a Mia Sosa book. I still want to read this one. Yours for the Taking, I want to read. Oh, Balance, I do not want to read this one. This is that gymnastics romance that I was saying that, like, you know, borders on non-consent. She's a child. They don't do anything until she is not, but it's a bit of grooming. Okay. Drown the Sea, I still want to read. Last Light is like a dystopian romance that sounds kind of interesting. Oak King, Holly King, I'm taking off. I actually DNF'd this one last year during SPIFBO. I think it has it needs to find its audience. I just wasn't it. Between Dragons and the Wrath, I do still want to read. Heart of Iron. What is this? Oh, this is that Ashley Poston sci-fi that I was going to read for Amazing last year, because it was like I needed some like queer sci-fi. Why is the Hells of Notre Dame on my to read? I've read that book. The Heir, Biotech Billionaires. He needed a perfect year. She was the way out as I sat at the helm of one of the most powerful companies in the world. I don't think I want to read this one. This doesn't sound like something I'm that interested in. Okay, One Perfect Couple, I do still want to read. The Sky on Fire, I want to read. Do Me a Favor, I want to read. The Crimson Crown, I want to read. Life After Death, The Housemaid is Watching. See, we're getting into like the times where I'm, you know, I want to read. Heavenbreaker, I don't want to read anymore. Unrealistic Expectations, I don't think I want to read anymore. I read another book from her and it was just kind of so mid that I was just like, I don't know, maybe not anymore. Living Legend, Legendary, I still want to read. Ember and Ashes, I still want to read. Ember and the Endless Palace, I want to read. This Ravenous Fate, I want to read. Dark and Dreading Tide. Yours Finally, I added this one to my Goodreads because I listened to, this author was on a panel at Steamy Lit, I believe, and sounded really interesting. Amber Toro is actually a Utah author, and I met her at Romance Out West, and this book sounded interesting, so I do want to keep this one. Craving by Helen Hart. I don't own this one anymore, but it is a cowboy romance, and I'm thinking about doing a cowboy romance vlog at some point because there are a lot of cowboy romance books coming out, so that one could be an option. Path of Vengeance. This one actually is one of those Star Wars ones that I do want to read. Crown of Gilded Bones, I want to read. Elemental Ruin, I think I want to read. I didn't love the interaction with the author that I had with at one of the conventions, but the book itself sounds really interesting. The Alexis Bernard books I obviously want to do, although this isn't even like a real book, so I'm gonna remove that one. The Book That Broke the World, I'm going to take off because obviously I didn't like book one, so I'm not going to continue. Promise of the Betrayer's Dagger, I do still need to read this one. I will read this one. I just haven't read fantasy that much this year, which is a bummer for sure. Unbreaking, I do want to read. I met that author at a Polycon and really liked their work. Feed, I definitely want to read. That one actually like might happen during spooky season. Things Have Gotten Worse Since We Last Spoke is like it has a 2.93. Wow, that's crazy. But everyone talks about that one, so I kind of want to read it. Horror movie, I do want to read that one. I don't know, like Paul Tremblay is hit or miss for me, but this one might work. Lord of Gold and Glory, I want to read. These are the Faye Isles books. I've read the first one and then I read the prequel novella and I really liked it, so I would like to continue that. Eyes of Tambura by Maria V. Snyder. What is this? It's YA. Why is it on my list? Shyla is a researcher, resides in the underground city of Ziradi, which is ruled by the wealthy water prince. I don't think I'm going to read. It's young adult fantasy. I don't think I'm actually going to read this one. See, you learn so much about yourself when you're doing this. The Liar's Knot, I want to read. The Hollow Plane, I want to read. Curse of the Saints, I want to read. Blood Circus, I still want to read. Fathom Folk, I do not want to read that one anymore. Crown of Oaths and Curses, I'm going to keep this one on here because I, in theory, want to read it. But the second one, like, I don't know, the rollout of it was not so great. Five Broken Blades, I think I'm going to keep on this. I don't own it, but part of me still, it sounds interesting. Here's where we start getting a lot of, like, a lot of these are Spiff, okay, so they're all Spiffbo radar. So let's see if we still want to read them. Asher Steelrim, outcast dragon rider who steals from nobles to help save what remains of his family. But when one particular job catches the eye, they want to recruit him for his biggest job, to steal a true dragon egg. I'm gonna be honest, I don't think I want to read this one anymore. Speak the Ocean. Mermaid Performers. Oh yeah, no, I do want to read this one because this one actually reminds me of Into the Drowning Deep. The Kiss of the Sky. She thought reclaiming her home was the only thing that mattered. Oh, it's like a romantasy. Okay. Infiltrate the dreaded human city. Retrieve an artifact that could change the tides of war. Okay. The cover is also gorgeous. Knights of the Alliance. Peace between three mighty empires hang in the balance. Only the knights can tip the scale. Finding herself embroiled in a bloody conflict, Mirai is faced with decision and make a pact to dedicate herself to the life of servitude to save her childhood friend. Okay, this one actually still sounds interesting. Seeds of the Fallen? Celestials, light versus darkness, enemies to lovers. Ooh, okay. Fulfilling a vow of marriage, leaving her romantic life in the hands of another. Okay, so we have like an arranged marriage kind of thing. All right, we're gonna keep this one. A Cursed Son I actually don't want to read because I did start that one and then it didn't work for me. What do the echoes say? How far would you go to save a friend? Would you start a war? Would you kill a king? Ooh, interesting. Born into a family of spies, a land torn apart by war, savage creatures stalk the realm and its aftermath. I don't think I want to read this one anymore. Okay, the rest of them, so South Breaks, A Circle of Stars, and The Desert Heiress, I do still want to read. I remember those enough. A River Enchanted, I don't think I want to read anymore. I think I only had it on there for the R fantasy, like the bards. The Appeal, I do not want to read anymore. The I-5 Killer, I am still interested in. It's like a true crime. Sleep Tight, I'm not interested in anymore. Lore Olympus, I still want to read. Air, I'm going to keep on here. I did unhaul it, but only because like I need to read the other 4 books first. And I figure that they'll probably come out with a copy. Like I thought it was its own thing and it's not. The Half King, I don't think I want to read anymore. Run, I do want to read. It's Blake Crouch. Rainbow Black? Part murder mystery, part gay international fugitive love story. Set against the 90s satanic panic and spanning 20 years of life. Okay, that sounds interesting. Idaho Fall. What is this? What if you saw who tried to murder you, but you can't remember, and now your life hangs in the balance out of your control? No, I'm not interested in this. I don't even know why it's here. Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil, I want to read. Catabasis, however you say it, I do want to read. Witchcraft, I want to read. I just don't know that I'm not in the mental headspace for that one. The Favorites, I don't think I want to read anymore. I'm so sorry. You can tell that I was talking about like early 2025 releases because it's like all this. The Fallen Gods, I don't think that this book is ever actually going to come out. So I'm taking it off because it keeps getting pushed back and pushed back and pushed back. And I just don't think it actually exists. My Best Friend's Honeymoon, I want to read. Just Our Luck, I want to read. Sweet Obsession. Iron and Embers, I do want to read eventually. Wicked Pursuit, I want to read. Tenderly, I Am Devoured. The Forest at the Heart of Her Mage. What is this? After years of city life, the Tiller is finally ready to revisit the magical forest where she grew up, but the forest has turned deadly. Tiller has no magic of her own. I don't know what this is. I mean, it's queer. Okay, the dog started barking, so I stopped for a minute. But I'm going to take that one off. Okay, so we've gone down... Tenderly I Am Devoured, I think I still want to read. Burn, I obviously still want to read. The Last Hour Between Worlds, I want to read. Bloodguard, I do not want to read anymore. It sounded interesting, but the reviews that came out were not great. Run in the Holy Library, I want to read. Tastes Like Shakar, I want to read. Blood of Hercules. I'm Sorry for My Loss. An Urgent Examination of Reproductive Care in America. I don't think I want to read that right now. Like, I probably do, but I don't. Okay, these were a couple of Romantasy-Con authors. Dark Radiance by Allison Aldridge. These are like YA. I'm going to keep them on my want to read. I don't own them anymore. And then The Dagger and the Forbidden Air sounds kind of interesting. The Princess Poison Vow, I do still want to read. Bound by Gravity, I want to read. Trick, I do want to read. A Kingdom of Stars and Shadows, I want to read. The After Hours, what is this? Haunted by the events of one night 1 year ago, the night her friendship with her best friend ended, but when the strange things start to happen around Sloane, she realizes that she has the ability to manipulate time, even travel back to that terrible night. She's not only the time traveler out there. She's not the only time traveler out there. A community of other travelers exist, with a main rule guiding them: don't alter the past. Okay, this sounds interesting. We're gonna keep this. Backhanded Compliments. It's like a queer sports romance. That sounds interesting. The JLA books I still want to read. The Scarlet St. Clair books I want to read. Caraway of the Sea I want to read. Woodbourne, yes. Curse of Shadows and Thorns, yes. The Phoenix King, I do still own that one. We are watching I DNF'd. Question is, did I DNF it this year? Yeah, I did. So I need to add that to, I did not finish this year, so that I can put it on my list, like at the end of the year. Wake Up and Open Your Eyes, I want to read. Shades of Silver City. Imagine if Gotham City had fairies, the Grim Reaper, Robin Hood, and romance. Okay, that's all I need to know. Yes, I want to read this. That is an iconic hook line. Authors, take note. Iconic. Immediately intrigued. I don't even need to read anymore. I want to read that. Rise of the Dawnbringer, I don't want to read anymore. It was in the Unplugged book box and I just wasn't as interested in it. I don't know. Lucky Day, I do want to read. A Curse Carved in Bone, I don't know. Okay, here's the thing. I am not super excited about this one. However, I do think it will end up in the Goodreads Choice Awards, and if I do Romantasy, then I probably still need to read it. So we're going to keep it for now. Wings So Wicked. Here's where I start like just adding in Kindle Unlimited Romantasy books that were like, ooh, someone talked about it, and now I need to read it. And I don't know what it is. Fourth Wing meets The Serpent in the Wings of Night. That is a high bar. A dark, alluring fantasy romance, tension, combat, magic, fae, fallen angels, vampires, and two stubborn rivals. Ooh, that sounds interesting. But I bet somebody that I know has read it, so let's see what they think. Ooh, Claire gave it 5 stars. Interesting. It's got good reviews, so we're gonna keep it. The Starlight Era I still want to read. The Last Session I want to read. With a Vengeance, yes. When the Moon Hits Your Eye, the new John Scalzi book, yes. I realized today that he has another one that was out. I saw it on the shelves at Barnes & Noble. Kill for Me, Kill for You. I still want to read Uncharted, The Pirate and Her Princess. Okay. Ooh, it's queer. That's like this my automatic exciting thing. A world of arrogant nobles and punishing laws. Georgina will be hanged if anyone discovers she's a spy. But when the wicked prince proposes marriage, Georgina must accept. Refusing would expose her secrets. She delivered to a hidden resistance and forfeit her life. With her wedding day looming closer, salvation comes from an unlikely source. Okay, I'm gonna keep that one. That sounds interesting. Shadow Rose. There's one who will restore the balance, reunite the shadow and flame. On one fateful night, an insistent knock drags Maeva of Alarica out of a deep sleep. She rushes to her best friend's side, Ophelia, only to have a stolen prophecy shoved into her hands. First book in the Daughters of Moon and Sun duology. Ooh, it's dark. But it also has an LGBT plus tag. It's queer. So we're going to keep this one for now. Court of Dragons and Crowns? Dragon Shifter, kings break into my home and kill my ex-boyfriend before taking me to their world to compete to be their queen. Full-length enemies to lovers, fantasy romance, dragon shifters, badass heroine, possessive alpha males. Oh, it's a why choose. Okay, we'll keep this one for now. Man, what kind of mood was I in when I started adding all of these? This is another why choose. Oh, this is, I remember what this one is. It's a like dark academia why choose. With like paranormal. So yes, I'm interested in this one still. What happens when a beautiful liar, a cruel prince, a ruthless manipulator, a seductive enchantress, and a man who is willing to do whatever it takes to find the woman he loves get tangled in a web of lies and secrets? This sounds interesting. Okay, we'll keep this one. The Coven I'm interested in. The Flame King's Captive. He snatched me from the jaws of death for one reason, to be his. I was a dead king's sacrificial bride until his murderer claimed me as his. Oh, it's a Megaverse. Okay, we're gonna keep this one for now. I haven't read enough of Megaverse. I need to read more. The Unmarked Witch I'm still interested in. Promised in Fire I'm still interested in. Evil's Ultimate Huntress I am still interested in. And I read the first one during Spiffbo last year. It's not one that like I necessarily would be like jumping at the chance to read, but I'm going to keep it on my want to read. 40 Love I'm interested in. Beneath Black Sails, yes. A Reaper at the Gates. Rule of the Aurora King. Sinner's Isle I'm not interested in anymore because it's YA. The last one I'm not interested in. It has a 2.83 as a rating, okay? 2.83. That is so hard to do, especially with over 5,000 ratings. The Temptation of Magic I'm interested in. The Timeless Trials I'm still interested in. 13th Child, yes. Till Death, yes. Until We Shatter, no. That's a YA book that was like an Illumicrate book, and I'm not as interested in that one anymore. Chain Gang All-Stars, yes. Sword of Hagen, yes. Ministry of Time, no. Listen, we're up to 2025. We're so close. Irish mythology collides with Gilded Age New York. Sweeping debut, enemies to lovers. Perfect for fans of Outlander and A Fate in Blood. That sounds a little too historical for me. So sorry. The Last Bookstore on Earth is a YA, but it's like dystopian, and I saw it at Barnes & Noble, and I was like, okay, this sounds really interesting. This one I DNF'd. I DNF'd the Book of Azrael. Famous Last Words I'm interested in. Rebel in the Deep I'm not, because I didn't like the first two. Blood Mercy I'm gonna take off. I just don't think I want to start that series because I heard that the later ones are not that good, and there's so many, and it's just so many pages, and I don't know that I want to start a series that ends poorly. Can't Spell Treason Without Tea I am taking off. Listen, the author I love. She's so funny on TikTok, and then it's just too cozy for me. Grave Matter I'm still interested in. Flame and Sparrow, yes. The Demon Prince. For years I've had dreams of talking to the devil. They're not nightmares. In fact, they're far from it. They're not normal. I'm honestly not sure what my life even is. I'm a witch that sucks at casting magic. My hair has a mind of its own. This seems like a lot. I don't think I'm interested. Maybe? I don't know. I don't think I'm interested in this one anymore. I don't know why I would have put it on there. Queen of Mazes and Mirrors, yes. Broken Souls and Bones, yes. Song of Silver Flame Like Night, I'm not interested in. It's YA. City of Gods and Monsters, I think I'm still interested in that. Order of Scorpions, yes. Mistress of Lies, yes. Our Infinite Fates, yes. The Raven Scholar, perhaps. Some people really, really like it, and then some do not. Deal with the Demon Lord, yes, I am. Secrets of Jane, yes. Of Blood and Stone. What is this? See, I had no idea what these are sometimes. Some of these. Standalone adult romantasy for readers who enjoyed magic with consequences, reluctant allies to lovers, dangerous quest in the throes of a cult kingdom. I don't think I'm interested in this though. Golden Queen? No idea what this is. Political alliance. What does a sheltered princess do when she needs to dispense with her innocence? She sets out to have a reckless affair with a fey dragon rider. Of course. I don't think I'm interested in that anymore. This says it's book number 4, so I don't know why it's on my want to read because I haven't read anything else from it. Transferring to her estranged mother's alma mater, college student Run Hollow quickly learns that there's a reason her mom left her behind in her life in Shade Forest. Ooh, let the bi panic commence. I don't even need to know anything else. We're just gonna try that. We're staying with that. That must have been why I got excited. 2 wardens gather their strength and a princess guards her heart. It is a YA romance, or not a YA, a queer romantasy. Sapphic fantasy romance defying fate and learning about female rage. Okay, we'll keep that. That sounds interesting. The Dead Saint, dark fantasy romance. That's a lot of reading. The Dead Saint ends on a cliffhanger. Blah, blah, okay. No. Okay, we've gotten to like recent, like in the past couple of months, and so these ones are ones that I'm going to be interested in still. I don't see anything that I'm not interested in at this point. Also, Goodreads is being so slow. It keeps throwing errors, which is funny because Amazon was doing that this morning, so like maybe they have a glitch in their system. But let's talk about it. Okay, we're down to 362 books, which is pretty good from the 524 something that we were up at. 544 something. We got rid of about 200 books. That's pretty good. Okay, this is a lot. There's a lot. And there's still a lot of books on here, but I feel a lot better about this. I feel like these are all books that I'm still very much interested in, and I feel like when I go to like Goodreads and I go to like screen record this year's books, and then I'm like, why is this on here? I don't want to read this. Because that's happened to me before. So I think that we're in a good spot, and I think that we're going to end it here. Let me know down in the comments below if you go through your Goodreads every once in a while. Do you clean it out, or do you just let it rack up? Are there thousands of books on your want to read and you're like, what even is this book? Let me know, because, you know, no judgment either way. If you're not feeling chatty, do a fall leaf emoji. If you want to see what else I've been up to recently, I'm going to put a video here that YouTube thinks that you're going to like. Go over there, go say hi. I'll see you over there. That's all I have for you today. If you're new here and you have not yet subscribed, there's a little button that you can do so down below the video. If you'd like to hang out with me more, the links to my Instagram, my threads, my Goodreads, and my Patreon are linked down in the description below. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!